Hello friends, welcome to Circuit Data. Today we are back with a new tutorial in which we are going to interface an OLED display in which we can display different text, image, whatever you want. And we are using this OLED display and we are interfacing this particular OLED display with an Arduino board. So before moving into the video, don't forget to subscribe our channel to get more interesting content about Arduino and other technologies. So let us move into the content. So, as usual, before going into the circuit diagram and the coding of any of the modules, we use it to discuss about the module or the sensor that we are using, right? So, let us discuss what is an OLED display, right? So, you can see here, this is our OLED display. So what we are going to do is we are going to interface this LED display and we are going to display the words or the numbers, whatever we want, right? We have a LCD display. Yes, you can see many of the products we have gone through the LCD displays, but this OLED display is somewhat different when compared to the LCD display because in the LCD display we can only represent the words or the numbers, but we are not able to represent the images, or we are not able to represent any scrolling mode, or all these things are not possible in an LCD display, right? So if you want to do more advanced displaying techniques, then you must have to come into the OLED display, right? So one thing I want to make you understood that whenever you are purchasing a OLED display, the main thing you need to remember when you are purchasing a OLED display is whether it is an IIC protocol or whether it is using a SPI protocol, right? Because we are going to get two different variants of OLED display. Okay, so you can easily find out that whether the display is an IIC or I2C. Sometimes it is called I2C or sometimes it is called IIC, or whether it is an SPI protocol, right? Because if like you can see here, today we are going to use an OLED display which is having an IIC protocol, right? So in the IIC protocol display, we are going to have only 4 pins. So one will be the ground, one will be the VCC, another will be the clock pin, SCL will be a clock pin, and this SDA will be an data pin through which we are going to give the data that should be displayed on the LED. OLED display, right? So when you see a OLED display, if it is having only 4 terminals, right? If the OLED display is having 4 terminals, then we can clearly understood that it is having an IIC protocol, right? And if the OLED display is having 7 pins, then we can have to understood that that particular OLED display is using an SPI protocol. There is no difference in any working whether the IIC or SPI both are going to work as in same way, but the IIC will have less number of pins, and so you will have less number of connections. When you are coming to the SPI, you may have the more number of connections, but there is no any problem with the IIC or SPI. You can use any one, but today in our tutorial we are using an IIC protocol, right? So when we come on to the pins, we are having a ground pin to which the negative pin of our Arduino will be connected, and we are having a VCC here to which we are going to connect the positive pin or the plus 5 volts pin of our Arduino, and then we are having a SCL and we are having an SDA pin, right? We are going to connect the SCL of our Arduino board with the SCL of the OLED display, and we are going to connect the SDA of our Arduino board to the SDA of our OLED display, right? So now let us quickly move into the circuit diagram so that we can see how we are going to connect this OLED display. We are going to have only 4, right? So you can see here, this is our circuit diagram. Okay, as I had said to you, we are going to connect the 5 volts, this particular 5 volts pin to the VCC pin of our OLED display, and we are connecting the ground of your OLED display, and we are connecting the IIC pins, right? Yeah, if you go through our first video, which we had explained you the Arduino board, there we had explained that in these number of pins, we are having a many number of pins here. Some of the pins may have will act as an IIC communication, some can be used for SPI communication, right? So you can easily find that if you Google in the Google, just Google it with the name of pinout, then you can easily find out that which pins are used for the SPI or which pins are used for the IIC. So let me show you so that you don't have any confusion whenever you are doing that. So if we open a Google, okay, and just type here pin out of Arduino Uno, right? When you pin out and just go to any image, so you can go to any image here. Like this one is very clear, I think, right? So if you go to any image, so you can clearly see here. You can see here. This is our normal Arduino Uno board. So you can see here some of our pins here, like you can see here it has represented the first pin will be first, second, third and fourth will be for SPI protocol. In the SPI we are going to MIS4 master in slave out or MOSI master out slave in. These pins will be available in the SPI communication, but today we are interfacing an IIC one, so we need only two. One will be SCL and one will be SDA, right? So you can see here now, here you can see at the top, this is this one pin above the A reference. The pin above the A reference, here it has given that it is an SDA pin, and the pin above that will be acting as an SCL, right? So we need just do these two pins. One that is above the A reference, that is our SDA, and above that it is our SCL, right? So we need only these two pins. So we are going to use these two pins. If you don't like this location, you can also have the other location like here. Here you can see here A5 is acting as an SCL and A4 is acting as an SDA. So you can use these two pins or these two pins for IIC protocol, right? So now let us move into our let us see what we had used here. Okay, so you can see here we had used this top both one, right? I had already represented you that this is our SDA, right? So this particular SDA of our Arduino has been connected to SDA of our OLED display, and this SCL of our Arduino has been connected to SDA of our OLED display, right? So this is our connection, very simple connection. Just we are connecting the 5 volts to the 5 volts of our VCC of our OLED, ground to the ground of our OLED, and SCL to the SCL and SDA to the SDA. So this is our connection, and it is very simple connection, right? So now let us move into the coding part. Okay, so if we come into the coding part, so it is very simple here. So the coding part will be very simple. Okay, so first we have to include some libraries here, right? So first I had included SPI.h. So we are not using the SPI protocol, but we have to include the SPI.h. Okay, because the OLED library need the SPI.h one, right? And then we are using the white.h library, because whenever we are using the OLED display, we have to take the white.h, and the white.h is related to the IIC protocol, right? You can also do some experiment. You can remove the SPA.h and whether we are able to display on the OLED display or not, right? If you are using your display is SPA, then you can the code that I am providing in the website is for the both SPA OLED display or IIC OLED display. Okay, so I am providing the code which will be working on the both IIC or SPI. But if you want, so if you are using only IIC, then you can do some experiment by deleting the first library, that is SPI.h, and you can see whether your OLED display is working or not, right? So and then we are including the white.h. This is the whenever we are using any sensor, like our OLED display is communicating in the IIC protocol or any other sensor which is using the IIC protocol, that must have the white.h library. Then only the Arduino can know that I have to communicate by using the IIC protocol, right? The white.h is going to make the Arduino know that it should use the IIC protocol, right? And then Adafruit GFX.h, that is a graphic library, and then Adafruit SSD130.h. This is our library for our OLED display, right? So and next we are giving a command to initiate our OLED display. This is our Adafruit. This is the command which we are using for initializing the OLED display. And then coming on to the voice setup, right? Initially, this is a command in the voice setup that initializes the I2C address. This will initiate the address of our IIC protocol. And then this particular command, display.clear display. So what this command do, whenever the Arduino board switches on, so whatever the previous data that is getting displayed on the OLED display will be cleared, and a new data will be displayed on your OLED display, right? This is for clearing the buffer, whatever the buffer or whatever the residual values that already having on the OLED display, right? And then display text. So now I will show you the code in the 4 different parts. I will show one set of code for displaying some text, one set of code like here this is for displaying some text on the OLED display, and other set of code for displaying the inverted text on our OLED display, and other set of code for changing the font size, how we can increase or decrease the font size in a OLED display, and other set of code for displaying the numbers on the OLED display, and other set of code for displaying the hexadecimal numbers, and then for displaying the ASCII characters, and then for displaying some scrolling text on the OLED display. And then the last one is we are again displaying the scrolling text, but this time not whole text, some part of the text will be displayed. Like if we are having hello world, then only the hello will be scrolling and the world will be there itself. But in the above one we are scrolling complete text that is displaying on our world display, right? That means we can, I am showing you all the different possible conditions that we can do with an OLED display, right? How we can display a text, how we can display a number, how we can display an ASCII character, how we can display an scrolling words, how we can display some part of the word to get scrolled, whatever the possibilities that we are having, and how we can increase the size. So I am trying to show you all the possible ways that we are having, that we can show having in our OLED display, right? So let us see one by one, right? So I am going to run all of them at a time, but I am going to explain you in a part wise so that you can easily understand the working of our OLED display, right? So I think you are clear with the above one. What this is for SPI communication, and this library is for IIC communication, and this library is for graphics, and this library is for our IIC. And then we are giving a command here, and then we are initializing our display address, and then we are using this command to display to clear all the buffer values that is already there on our OLED display, right? And then if you want to display the text, so what you are going to do is first we have to set our size of the text. So display dot, whatever we are writing in starting, you have to write the display, right? Display dot set text size to 1, that will text size will be 1, right? And then display dot set text color, here we are setting our text color, and we are setting our text color with an white here, okay? And then we are setting our cursor, so you can set your cursor, you can set at the top or at the corner wherever you want. So I am setting it at 0 at the top, and from the top at the one corner, that means 0 comma 1 means if you are having a box, at one left corner it will start, and below 28 rows it is going to start it, okay? And then the command that I am displaying on the display is hello world, okay? And after displaying this, I have to wait for 2000 milliseconds, that means for 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds the display should get clear, okay? So what we are doing in the display is, first if you are displaying the text, first you have to set the text size, and then you have to set the text color, and then you have to set the cursor wherever you want. I am setting it at the bottom, at the bottom corner, because 0 by 28 will be the bottom corner. If you give here 0 by 0, it will be gone to the top corner. If you are given something 28 by 28, it will be at the rightmost corner, like that, okay? These 2 points, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. And so 0 and 28 means at the bottom of our display, at the left bottom, okay? If you are doing 0 0, it will be left top, like that, okay? And the command that I am displaying on my display is hello world, okay? And then after displaying the hello world, I am going to wait for 2 seconds, and then again I am going to clear it, okay? So this is how we are going to display the text on our OLED display, right? And similarly, if I want to display our inverted text, okay? So inverted text means, don't think that my text is going to get inverted. Here inverted text means there is going to have some box, and in that box the hello world will come there, okay? So first we have to set the text color, and the text color will be both white and black. Initially in the previous one we had used the text color only white, but here I am using both the black and white. Again I am setting my corner to left bottom, not the top corner, left bottom corner. And then the command that I am displaying here is the hello world, and after displaying it, again waiting for 2 seconds, and then again clearing the display, okay? And if you want the same hello world with the increased font, then how can we do that? Again I am setting my text color as white, and then this time I am not displaying at the bottom, but I am moving somewhat up. So this time I have set my cursor to 0 by 24, so it will not be bottom, but it will come at the middle, I think. Okay, and then I am setting my text size as 2. You can see here in the previous one we have set our text size as 1, but this time I have set it as 2, so that my hello will be in bigger size when compared to the previous one. Okay, and then again 2 seconds delay, and then again clearing the display. Okay, how we are going to display the numbers? It is very easy. Again you have to set the text size, and then again cursor, and this time we are going to print only the numbers. Again after displaying, wait for 2 seconds, and then again clear the display. Okay, and if you want to display the base numbers or the hexadecimal numbers, so how we again this will be common. You have to set the cursor position at one point. You can set it anywhere, like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. It's up to you. Wherever you want, you can set it. But I am setting it at the 0, 28 means it will be set at the left bottom there, right? And then I am displaying OX, and then I am displaying some here I am displaying OX and 0x, and here I am displaying 0x FF comma X, so that it will be hexa. And then similarly, if I want to display the ASCII, so what I am doing, again I am setting my cursor, setting my text, and then here you are not insisted to write the display dot print. So whatever you see here, if I want to print a 1 2 3 4, I am writing display dot print here. If I want to print the hello, I am writing print display dot print. And if I want to write on my display hello world, here also I am using the command display dot println. But if I want to print an ASCII character, then I am not insisted to use the command display.println. Instead of that, we have to use display.write, and in the bracket we have to represent the number, whatever the ASCII symbol that we are having. So we are displaying the 3, which will be a charging point symbol, right? And if you want to have a scrolling text, first you have to set the cursor to the any one position. This time I am setting it 0, 0, that means at the leftmost top. Okay, and then first I will display the full, and then I will display the screen, and then I will display the scrolling. So this will be the text that I am displaying, and this is the text. We are using the command display.println. Okay, and then my scrolling will start. So how we are going to scroll it? We are using display.start scroll right. So what this command will do? This command will scroll this text, full screen scrolling text, to the right side up to which point? From 0, 0. That means from first point to middle of the display, 0, 7, right? And then after, so it will start from the left side. It will move up to the middle, because I have given the first command as a 0, 0 location, so it will be the left side. And then I had given the command as 0, 0, 7. That means it come to up to the middle, and then after 2 seconds it again stops scrolling and come back. Okay, after 2 seconds it will stop scrolling, and then again we have to come back. So again this time left, because initially my text moved from left to right, and then it has waited for 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds now my text will scroll from left to right. Okay, it is right to left, sorry, right to left, right? So what we are doing here is we are printing full screen scrolling value, but first we are scrolling it to the right. That's why I use the command start scroll right, so that the text will scroll from the left to right. And then after 2 seconds, now we are using after 2 seconds we are stopping the scroll, and after that again we are scrolling it, but this time we are scrolling it to the left, right? It depends upon you. If you want to scroll it to the right side of the display, then you have to use the command start scroll right, and then the location from where to where. And if you want to scroll it to the left side of the display, then you have to write the start scroll left, and you have to write the location from where to where. Okay, and if you want to stop the scrolling, you have to write the command stop scroll, right? And if you want to scroll it diagonally right, not from left to right but diagonally right, then you have to write the command start scroll dia right, then it will scroll diagonally to the right side. And if you want to scroll it diagonally to the left, then you have to use the command start scroll diag left. Okay, these are the commands how we are scrolling, right? We are having only one text. First you need to print the text by using the display.print command, and after that if you want the straight scrolling, from left to right, then you have to use the start scroll right. If you are if you want the straight scrolling from right to left, you have to use the start scroll left. And if you want the straight scrolling but this time diagonally, then you have to use the start scroll diagonal right. Or if you want diagonally left, then it will be start scroll diagonal left. Okay. And if now what I need is, this time I didn't need all the text to get scrolled. Like here we are having all the text, that means full screen display. Complete text will scroll right or scroll left or scroll right diagonally or scroll left diagonally. But what we this time what I didn't need all the text to get scrolled, but I need only some part of the text to get scrolled, right? So this will be a command. We will set the cursor, we will set the cursor size, and then again we will print the words that we want to display, scroll some part of the screen. And then if you want to scroll right, then you have to use the command display dot start scroll right. Okay. But this time you can see here I had given the location as 000 and here also 000. That means only this scroll one is going to scroll and remaining this part will not get scrolled. But here you can see I had given the command as 000 to 007. That means 0002 means up to the bottom, 007 complete text will get scrolled. But here 0002 000, that means only the top one which is placed at the 0th location will scroll and remaining text will not scroll. Okay. So let us see whether it is scrolling properly or not. Let us test our display. So very simple one. This is for displaying text. This command is for displaying inverted text. This command is for changing the font size. Only one change will be there. If you increase the set text size in the bracket, if you increase the number, then the scroll size, then the text size will get increased. And then if you want to display the ASCII, the only change here is here you are not using the println, but instead of that you are using the write commands for displaying a ASCII number. And if you want to scroll, first you will print the words that you want to scroll, and then you will display the, and then you will mention the numbers. That means if you are mentioning 0002 007, that means my complete text will get scrolled. And if you are mentioning 0002 000, only the first one is getting scrolled because only this one is available on the 0th location. Okay. So if you implement it on your own, you can get more easy understanding about this. And if you whenever you implement this, if you are having any doubts in the implementation, you can contact us through our website, or you can contact us by commenting on this video. We will try to help you in the OLED display interfacing, right? So now let us see whether my text is working or not, right? So let me show you you can see here, this is my OLED display and this is my Arduino board, right? So now you can see here I had used these top two pins, right? One will be the SCL and one will be the SDA. This is connected to SCL and SDA of my OLED display, and these are the 5 volts and ground has been connected to my 5 volts and ground, right? So now what we are going to do, now let us dump this code into our Arduino board. So the same thing we are going to do, we are connecting our Arduino with our laptop, and then we were first checking whether COM15 is selected or not. But one thing that you need to do is, before using the Adafruits library for the OLED display, you have to make some change in the library of the Adafruit. Because you can see here at the top, you can see here I had included the library Adafruit SSD1306.h, right? So there is some change that you need to do, otherwise your display is going to operate as an 128 by 32, right? Because you can see here the display that I had used here, it is an 128 by 64, right? The length will be 128 and the width will be 64. But the display, but by default, if you are downloading the Adafruit library, so let me show you how we are going to get this Adafruit library. You can go to Tools, and then you can go to you can go to Sketch, and then you go to the Include library, and then you go to Manage library. Okay, so you should need a active internet connection. So once you click on the Manage library, you are going to get you are going to get like this. So at the top, you have to type Adafruit SSD 13, then immediately it will get displayed here. Okay, you can see here Adafruit SSD 1306 by Adafruit. Don't go to the other, it should be by the Adafruit. So you can go here and click on install. As I already installed, so I'm not getting the install button here, but you have to click here the install one, right? You can see here this library is both for 128 by 64 display and 128 by 32 display, right? So by default what happens, let me show you the command. Once you install it, then you need to go to your windows, okay, and then you have to go to the documents, and in the documents you may have the folder with the name of Arduino, and in that folder you are going to have a folder with the name of libraries. So here you can see this one, Adafruit SSD 1306. Open that folder. In that you are going to have a Adafruit SSD 1306 H file. This is the library file which we are including here. So open it. You can use any software, like for your convenience I am opening with a notepad. Okay, so if you open this, so just scroll down. So here you can see define SSD 1306 128 by 64, define SSD 1306 128 by 32, or define SSD 1306 96 by 16. So by default what happens, by default your setting will be like this. The 128 by 64 will be commented out here whenever you are putting two forward flashes. That means that line will get commented. That is not going to be active here. And the 128 by 32 will be active here. So if you upload the code in this way, then you are not going to get the text properly on the screen, because some of the text you are going to get cutted out by the screen, because that setting is for 128 by 32 display, but the display that we are using is 128 by 64. Okay, if you are using a 128 by 64, what you need to do, just comment this one 128 by 32 line, this line, comment this line, and uncomment the 128 by 64 one and save it. Okay, now after that you can click on the upload button, so that the code will get uploaded into your Arduino board. Okay, so let us wait for the code to get uploaded. Okay, so you can see here my code has been uploaded. So let us move here into our Arduino board. Okay, you can see now the hello world is getting printed, and then the inverted hello world, and then the big hello is getting printed, and then the numbers, and then we are getting the hexacode, and then the symbol, and then my scrolling text, right? You can see the text is getting scrolled here. You can see the complete text is getting scrolled here. Because of some issues with the camera, it is not clear for you, but you can see here the text is getting scrolled. Okay, and now you can see that the two texts are bottom two one are not scrolling, and the top one is scrolling here. Okay, so all the commands I have run at a time. Okay, so let me try to show you again. First, hello world has been printed. It is not clear, but and then inverted hello world has been printed, and hello has been printed with an increased size. And then these are the numbers that is getting displayed. And now the hexacode has been displayed, and now the ASCII code has been displayed, and now the complete text is getting scrolled from left to right, and then from right to left. And then some part then you can see from diagonally left to right and diagonally right to left, and you can see now the only the upper one is getting scrolled and the bottom two lines are not getting scrolled, right? So this is how you can interface an OLED display with an Arduino board, right? If you want to know more about the OLED display, or if you want this code, everything has been provided in the website, and the link for the website has been given in the description. So you can go through the link for getting the code and all the relating stuff regarding this OLED display. If you like our video, don't forget to like our click on the like button, and if you want to get more content like this, so stay with us and keep learning.